Welcome back to the Speedy Weekly Hoop Recap. My name is Speedy. Let's talk about what happened this week. I'm gonna start this video by kind of apologizing. The video I made about Andrew Wiggins, let me just rephrase some of what I said. Congrats, Andrew Wiggins. Honestly, when I saw that Andrew Wiggins was going to be an all-star, especially as a Canadian, I was like, hey, that's actually kind of nice. But, although, no, he didn't, let me say, he didn't deserve it, but at the same time, it's not really that he didn't deserve it. It's more that other people deserved it more than him. That's what I'm going to say. I think that's the best way I could phrase it. Other people deserved it more than him. But still, respectfully, all props to Andrew Wiggins. Congratulations. Good job, man. You made it. You made it to the All-Star game. It was also, when I saw it, it was kind of cool to see. Because, Andrew Wiggins has always been a guy, people were, saying, oh, he should have been better. Everybody thought he was going to be Jordan, and then he wasn't. So, expectations kind of went down, but he's an all-star now, man, and now you could say he's an all-star. He was an all-star at one point. He was an all-star starter at one point. So, hey, props to Andrew Wiggins. Although I think other people may have deserved it more, good job, my guy. Now, let me first start by talking about last night. Last night had two amazing games, and then one close game, but two really amazing games. The first one I'm going to talk about is the one I actually watched. Heat versus Raptors. Or I should say Raptors versus Heat, because it was in Miami. That was amazing. Triple overtime. Triple overtime? I heard the commentators after the game. It was their first triple overtime game since 2012, and their first triple overtime win since 1998. It's their first triple overtime win of the millennium. That is crazy. And when you actually think about that, last time they had that was the last millennium. You know, if you don't know what a millennium is, it's 1,000 years. That is crazy. It was a great game. Freddie was off for a lot of the game. Freddie has been off for the past few weeks, but he came in the clutch at the end, started actually hitting threes. Siakam, he was off a bit, but then on defense, he had two clutch blocks on Jimmy Butler, and that was really nice. And eventually he came in the clutch. He hit the two sealing free throws to seal the game, and then Scotty had an amazing game defensively and offensively. He was getting a lot of free throws in the final few minutes. And then you can't forget, of course, Gary Trent and OG Anunoby. Two players of the game, to be honest. Gary Trent was amazing. He made every shot. Not every shot, but he was very good. That's what I could say. He was their big shot maker in this game a lot of the time, and he scored a majority of their points. And then OG played amazing, about 20 something points, 14 rebounds. And the crazy thing about this game is all 5 of the Raptors starters played 53 minutes or more, which is crazy. If you really think about that, that's almost an hour running around on the court. And that's, hey, props to the Raptors, man, because they played a great game. Then also I gotta say props to the Heat, because Jimmy Butler had an amazing game. He did really good. He had a 37-point triple-double. So, good job. And Tyler Hero didn't have the greatest game, but then he turned up at the end, kinda. So, hey, I guess. But the Raptors got the dub in a triple overtime game. That was a really good game. That was a really good game. Is there anything? The other game that happened last night, Nets versus Warriors. The Nets didn't have KD and didn't have Harden, but oh yeah, I almost forgot to say the Heat didn't have Lowry last night, and I would have rather have them like playing with Lowry and stuff, and maybe that might have made a difference. But you know, hopefully he could play when they play each other on February 3rd, I think. And it's February 1st or 3rd, one of those days. But anyways, Warriors versus Nets. The Warriors played the Nets, and it was a close game. Clay and Curry went off at the end of the game, though. Kyrie had a clutch shot, but it wasn't enough, and the Warriors pulled it out. The Warriors are a pretty good team. So, you know, but that brings the Nets down to the 6th seed. And if you think about it, it's like, oh, the Nets with the big three being the 6th seed, but really there's only a game behind 3rd, a game and a half behind 2nd, and 2 games and a half behind 1st. That, I said it in my All-Star Starters reaction. That's a crazy little section right there, and the Hornets are getting pretty close there too. But yeah, right now the Raptors are 8th. It's like those top 6 teams. If you don't know them, it's Heat, Bulls, Sixers, Cavs, Bucks, Nets. And then after that, you got the Hornets, who are a bit behind the Nets. Then you got the Raptors, 2 games and a half behind the Hornets. The Celtics are tied with the Raptors, but they play more games. Then the Hawks are behind. They jumped up to 10th. I just saw that. That's crazy. The Wizards are now out of the play-in, because the Wizards were just recently in the 8th seed, and now they're all the way down to 11th. And the Celtics and the Raptors are both above 500. These are like this little area is around 500, barely above 500, barely below 500 teams. So, you know, it's interesting to see. And yeah, if you also in the West, the Suns are going crazy. The Suns are just amazing right now. Devin Booker and Chris Paul. I don't know. They better get 2 All-Stars, but at the same time, I don't know if they are going to get 2 All-Stars, because 2 All-Stars have already been released, and those are Ja and Curry, which means there's only 3 slots left for the West for guards, and you gotta choose. So there's Donovan Mitchell, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Luka, and I'm pretty sure there's more. There's Dame, but he's not making it. And then there's like the borderline All-Stars who you probably know aren't going to make it, like Shea and DeJounte. But the main 4 would be those 4. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, and Luka. And one of those guys isn't going to make it. And originally, when I was making my All-Star teams, I had Chris Paul not making it, mainly because the other teams, that means there's one from each team that makes it to the All-Star game. But I don't know if that's gonna happen, because Luka's doing good. I don't know. I think Donovan Mitchell might end up being the guy, because the coaches are the coaches are the people who like choose the reserves, and I have a feeling they're gonna choose Chris Paul or Donovan Mitchell. And if Donovan Mitchell isn't an All-Star, because one of these guys isn't gonna get picked, and no matter who doesn't get picked, it's gonna be a snub. It's just, you gotta decide who's gonna get snubbed. And in my opinion, it should probably be either Chris Paul or D-Book, even though both of them have been playing amazing. But then again, Donovan Mitchell does have a case. It's really interesting, because Donovan Mitchell has a case to be an All-Star starter, but he also could possibly be a snub. And it's like, I don't know how they're gonna do this, man. I'm not hoping for this, but at the same time, hopefully one of these guys gets injured so that one of them can listen. Injuries are terrible, but if there's an injury replacement All-Star, I wouldn't be complaining, you know what I'm saying? Like, because there's 4 guys here who deserve to be All-Stars, but Only one of them can make it, man. Only one of them can make it. The Mavericks are doing good. Lucas is coming alive. I don't really have much else to talk about for this week, because I didn't watch as much basketball as I probably should have. I guess, sorry to Andrew Wiggins if I sound disrespectful, or Andrew Wiggins fans, because I know Andrew Wiggins ain't watching this, but sorry if I sound disrespectful in the last video. There's other people who I could see who, in my opinion, would deserve it more. That's it. Maybe he could be an injury replacement all-star for like Paul George or something. But a starter, that's interesting. Very interesting. If you guys want to hear more about that, go check out that video. And I think that's pretty much it. Hopefully I have more to talk about next week. I mean, when the reserves come out, I am going to release a reaction. I'm hoping they come out in the next week or so. Because the All-Star Draft is on February 10th. And that is in, because I'm recording this on the 30th, that's in 11 days, almost 2 weeks. So, I'm thinking that the reserves might come out, they gotta come out between then and now. So, maybe this week Thursday, maybe this week Wednesday, I don't know. But hopefully they come out soon, because I'm ready to see them, man. Is there anything else I really need to talk about? Let me just look around at NBA.com for a bit. Because I don't think so. I think that for the most part, I'm good. Yeah, because there's not much. Oh, I almost forgot about that. Yeah, James Harden. James Harden. That is a big thing that I almost forgot to talk about. Yeah, James Harden is... James Harden is thinking about testing free agency. And I will do a rebuild of a team surrounding that situation, I'm guessing. But, like, James Harden is... Wow. That is something, man. James Harden? The James Harden? I'm gonna record a bunch of rebuilds after this, trust me. But James Harden? Like, they have a whole super team over there, and he's requesting a trade? Is it? I think people have been saying it's because of Kyrie's name, because Kyrie's locked up for a few years, KD's locked up for a few years, but James Harden's about to be a free agent, and he's saying he's gonna test free agency. And if James Harden's testing free agency, that means that opens up opportunities for teams like the Sixers, teams like the Heat, I don't know about the Heat, but other teams that might want James Harden on their roster. That opens up opportunities for them. Maybe even, don't call me crazy here, but like the Boston Celtics. I don't know. But James Harden, man, that's crazy. You know what? If I'm definitely about to record my NBA video around that whole situation, but hey, if James Harden, I don't want him on the Raptors, but if James Harden is gonna test free agency and he's moving to a different team, I'm all for it. Less super teams, more diversity, bet. I'm thinking of teams that could, if a team like, if he went to the Sixers, that would just create another super team. Let's say a team like the Pelicans got him. The Pelicans with James Harden would be nasty. That would be Devontae Graham, James Harden, Brandon Ingram, Zion, and Valanciunas. Ooh, that is nasty. And then another team that could possibly get him is, I don't know about this, but if Portland gets James Harden, if they say forget tanking, we wanted to go all out and get James Harden, the backcourt of Dame and James Harden sounds nasty. And then the Nets get back CJ McCollum. That's like just the basis of the trade. It'd probably be a thing like CJ McCollum, maybe Robert Covington, and actually they probably, No, they would have wanted a young. Well, they might want a young prospect back, but I don't know who they'd get. Maybe Harden and maybe CJ and Nurkic for Harden, or CJ and Covington for Harden, and a pick, of course, a few picks, of course. Something around the basis of that would be interesting. But yeah, that's something. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm just like thinking of where he could go, and I don't know where else. Maybe a team that's like just trying to get to the next level, and that's what I was thinking about with the Celtics. Because if the Celtics get James Harden, because they've always needed a point guard. If James Harden is that point guard, they run a lineup of James Harden, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Robert Williams, if they don't have to trade any of those guys for James Harden, because they're trying to keep Jaylen Brown and Tatum, obviously, but they're gonna have to trade somebody for James Harden. So I don't know what that package would look like, but I think the option that looks the most realistic, or the options, it'd be either Philly, or even though Philly's trying to commit to Tyrese Maxey, either Philly or Portland, but not Portland, because Portland's trying to rebuild. But Portland would make, it would look nice. It would look nice to have James Harden in Portland. CJ and a few other players and picks for James Harden in Portland beside Dame. In my opinion, that looks absolutely nasty, like ridiculously nasty. But yeah, I think that's a good place to stop it for this video. I think James Harden, the best option for teams. Don't trade for James Harden right now, of course, because it's his last year of his deal and he's saying he's going to test free agency. It's better just to wait till free agency, and the teams that have money, maybe the Sixers, maybe the Blazers, I don't know. Maybe Dame and Harden team up somewhere. That would be crazy. Or maybe the Celtics get Dame or Harden, one of the two. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see. So, yeah. I think this is a good spot to end it off, though. We had some good talking points, and that's pretty much all I have to say. So, if you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, share, comment down below tips, tricks, or topics that you have me to talk about. What ifs? Not this week, maybe next week. Just wait. Trust me, when I get time, I will make them. But yeah, that will be it for me today. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.